Hello, welcome back to the Grunt Perspective. And in this video, we're going to talk about how to integrate a gas mask to your kit for CBRN threats or for training. I didn't really know what to title this video, so I mean, whatever it ends up being, it is, but I really just wanted to call it how to integrate a gas mask without fucking up literally everything. Because it kind of does. If you don't have a plan for it, and you don't have like the right equipment that you need for it, that issued gas mask carrier, the gray one, is pretty unruly. To talk a little bit about that, it has a belt strap. It's meant to be worn on your left side. Uh, for to my knowledge, there isn't a reversible version. It's meant to be worn on your weak side, right? Most shooters are right-handed, so the pouch is made to be worn on your left side. But to my knowledge, there isn't a right-handed version. Um, anyway, it has a belt strap and then it has a leg strap, and it's this giant fucking thing that holds the gas mask, holds a little pouch which you use to put like your spare filters in, and then it holds a cleaning kit for the gas mask. Not a cleaning kit for the gas mask. It's like a chemical cleaning kit, the decontamination kit. They're really terrible. They don't hold up. If you take it out and you wear it for a week, by the end of the week, it's going to be ripped up and falling apart. They're also this weird gray color, which doesn't really help for camouflage or for concealment, anything like that. And just all in all, they're really terrible. And with the amount of people who use a belt like this now, if you're doing any sort of CBRN training, you're kind of fucked. You either have to wear it super low, uncomfortable, or super high above your belt, uncomfortable, which can also start to get in the way of all the stuff that's on your belt. That's important stuff. So that is pretty awful. It's never the right way to go for 99% of infantrymen. Now, so let's talk about some common problems that I see with people when we're doing CBRN training. The first one is they have the gas mask on, but they have no way to drink water with a gas mask. Show you this thing. Your gas mask has a drink tube in it, or on it, which is this guy that is up in the front here. You pull this out and you put this into the top of a military issue canteen and you blow. You blow into that canteen. It creates back pressure. You hold the canteen upside down, and thus water flows through normally. A lot of people don't know that. So a lot of people, when they do their first time doing CBRN stuff, they're trying to suck through that hose. And as you can see, the hose goes into the inside of the mask right there. They're trying to suck through that hose. You're never going to be able to get water like that. So that's just make sure that your troops know that you have to blow into the hose, and then water comes out. So yeah, not having a water source like a military canteen. If you want to use a Nalgene too, I brought a Nalgene here because the CBRN caps on the military canteens have the same thread pitch as Nalgene's. See that? Hell yeah. But yeah, just not having a way to drink water. I'm sure that there is probably some sort of adapter for a gas mask to connect to a Camelback bladder, but I have never seen it and it is not issued. So we can assume that most people who have a gas mask issued to them probably don't have that adapter. So yes, have a canteen. I chose to put the canteen on my belt here, on the back of the belt. See, I got a singular canteen right there. Not a lot of water, right? But it is water that you're able to drink, and all of my water sources that I carry out to the field with me all have an NBC cap on them if I were ever in that kind of situation. But yes, that is the first problem. The second problem is they have it rigged up, or they have the gas mask itself like rigged up on their kit in some sort of manner where it's not um, easily able to be worn on your body all the time. Anytime I've done CBRN training, or ask guys who invaded Iraq and they had to be in mop 4, mop 3 the whole time. They had to have their gas mask on them, and even in some cases their mop suit on all the time. And if you have it in some sort of manner where you can't do that, as in like you can't wear it with a rucksack on, or it's like physically attached to your kit or something like that, that's a problem. It needs to be in some way mounted, most likely to your belt, that doesn't interface with all of this. Because if it's mounted hard to this, when I take this off, I no longer have it, and that is obviously a problem, especially in some sort of a CBRN threat. Um, the third problem is a lot of guys don't have a gas mask extender. I don't believe it's actually issued, so I understand why they don't have it. But on the back of the helmet here, you can see I always keep this thing clipped to my back straps. And when you put a gas mask on, your helmet no longer, like the chin strap, it no longer works. Like, it's not long enough. So depending on the helmet straps that you have, you just get the corresponding extender piece for your type of straps, and this clips onto that, and this clips onto that, and now my helmet can actually stay on my head. Not really a problem with Peltors, admittedly. Like, my helmet's going to stay on my head if I have the Peltors like clicked down. But if you don't have Peltors, you have a Mitch helmet or something like that, then you absolutely need one of these gas mask extender clips, and that'll actually keep it secured to your head. And then I kind of already talked about this, but the fourth problem is it's mounted to their kit itself in some sort of way. Like, you get one of these big old pouches here and you molly this onto your belt. That's cool. It probably makes it a lot easier to carry, but again, it can't be attached to your gear. It kind of has to be attached to your body. That's how this has to work. So those are a few of the common problems. I'm sure there's more. A couple things I want to talk about that I see a lot on Instagram, and I don't want guys to get the wrong idea, is gas masks being mounted on your back in some sort of back panel. Like, even if you can get to it easily, that's just not a good idea, because it being mounted to your back means, like, one, I have to keep my gas mask on my body all the time. So like, I can't take that off. And if I need to put a rucksack on over it, like, my gas mask is getting crushed and fucked up. And on top of that, I just flat out can't get to it. I'm sure it works for a lot of people. It works for SWAT teams and shit like that. For people that don't have to wear rucksacks and things like that, it's not going to work for an infantryman. It needs to be on your leg, some sort of position where you can get to it very quickly. VPU, voice projector unit, I think it's called. It's a little thing that goes on to the front of your gas mask here that magnifies your speaking volume out. It's like a speaker, basically. It inputs what you say and then it magnifies it out. That's a really awesome thing to have. I'm sure that they are probably issued. I've never been issued one before. I've almost bought one a couple of times, but it's kind of expensive. And it's for the amount that the average Marine or soldier is going to do CBRN training, it's kind of hard to justify that. But it is a really nice thing to have if you are a leader or something like that and you're trying to scream with a fucking gas mask on. Next thing would be the blowers that attach to gas masks, where like the filter apparatus is again on the back of your plate carrier, and then it has a hose that comes up to the front that's like constantly blowing air. That's fucking sick, But again, for the same reason why we can't put our gas mask on our back, I can't use that either. Just because, like, if it's part of the gas mask, the system, again, it needs to be on me all the time. And if I don't have my plate carrier on, I don't have that shit on. And again, if I need to put a rucksack on, I'm fucked, right? There's a lot of shit back there that could be broken because of that. And if it's broken, it's obviously not going to work. And then on top of that, it's going to be extremely uncomfortable for any duration of time. Now, spare filters. Spare filters, right? You're going to have 2 serviceable filters on your gas mask. You should be checking those before you do any type of training with it. And then where do I keep my spare filters? I kind of have two solutions. The best of those 2 solutions would be to find somewhere on your gear where you can keep a set of 2 spare filters with you. Now, for me, that's not feasible. I don't have room for it unless I molly some sort of pouch to the outside of this, which could work. But really, I think your spare filters should be kept in a salt pack, and you're always going out with them. Anytime you have your gas mask, you need to have spare filters with you. It's exactly like having a radio with a spare battery, right? Spare filters need to be on your person. When I say that, I don't necessarily mean on your fighting gear, but they need to, like, you need to never leave without them. It's exactly the same as like water. Like, I go out on a patrol, I'm not going to go out on a patrol without water. If I have a gas mask, I'm not going to go out on a patrol without spare filters. So however you choose to achieve that is going to be fine, as long as you have them with you all the time. And however many sets of spare filters that your unit wants you to carry is going to depend. But yes. Okay, so now the way that I choose to carry this, as I said in the beginning of the video, without fucking up everything, is I choose to put my gas mask inside of one of these. This thing is fucking old. This is a tactical assault gear drop leg pouch for a gas mask. It goes on the front there. Nice large buckle, very easy to find. Then it has a belt loop and a leg strap. Nothing here that's revolutionary, right? Reinventing the fucking wheel. But this leg strap I attach to my inner belt. And because it has a little bit of length, here, I'm going to move that. I'm sure that some of you are eyeing my belt and be like, that's different than the last time we saw it. Yes, it is. I'll get to it. Not this video, though. But yes, so because it has a little bit of drop loop here, I can put my overbelt on over the top of it. And yes, I'm losing a little bit of Velcro, but it's not that big of a deal. And I don't have to fuck with anything on my overbelt, right? I just put it on my body, attach the leg strap, and then my overbelt just goes over the top of it, this belt, right? Another benefit is I can put my main pack hip belt right over the top of that. And it's not the most comfortable thing in the world to have this underneath your hip belt, but it's also not comfortable to die because you're inhaling shit that kills you. So I don't know. It's a give and take there. I'm sure that you could probably figure out some sort of pouch, some kind of way to have a little bit less of a signature here, but a gas mask is also quite heavy and it kind of needs some support. Speaking on support, depending on the type of inner belt you use, it might not work very well to hang something off of your inner belt. One of the inner belts that I'm using right now is the Hercules Tactical padded inner belt. And it has a sheet of Tigris in it, and then it has a little bit of padding on the inside. So the Tigris helps to support this, and then I have the little bit of padding on the inside, so it's comfortable to wear with a rucksack on. That has worked fine. With all of it put together, ooh, my fucking mount's going buck wild on me here. Right there, right? With all of it put together, my gas mask sits right there underneath one of my grenade pouches here, and then it attaches again on my left side, so it's not in the way. I mean, it's in the fucking way because it's a big thing attached to your leg, but it's not in the way of anything important. I can still use all of my grenades. I still have my speed reload, right? And then I still have my otherwise completely normal belt set up. That is, in my opinion, the only way to go. Unfortunately, it does require you to buy something because the issued stuff that we get given is just absolutely abysmal. And it doesn't work very well. Now, that's how I choose to do it. I think it's a really good way to do it. Probably not necessarily the best way to do it, but given the limitations that we have, having to wear a rucksack, having to have things on our body all the time, I think it's probably the best way to achieve that. Another option would be one of these Eagle Molly leg drop panels here, and then a Eagle gas mask pouch. I don't really like this one though, because it doesn't have a lot of form to it. So the gas mask just goes in there and gets kind of crushed, but you can see I do the exact same thing. Got the leg loop, or got the belt loop, got the leg loop, and then it sits right on there. Talk a little bit more about this. I kind of mentioned the structure thing. I like this one because when you take the gas mask out, it stays relatively open. Like it has some sort of plastic, like a stiffener in there, which makes it easier to put the gas mask back in whenever you're done using it. It's not like a quick draw, quick put away fucking thing. Well, it is a quick draw, but it's not a quick put away thing. And that's kind of, it is what it is. I'm not entirely pleased with it, but it's so much better than having to wear two belts with the issued gas mask holder and pouch and all that stuff. Yeah, so wearing a gas mask sucks. One of my worst times I've ever had in the Marine Corps was hiking up a very large hill with a main pack and a flak on and a helmet, carrying a machine gun and wearing a gas mask. It's like breathing through a drinking straw. It's absolutely terrible, but like I said, it's better to be a little bit winded than die. So yeah, I hope that this was helpful, and I'll see you guys next time.